Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something big, something that could shake the very core of the Pi network economy and possibly reshape its future. We're talking about the massive wave of Pi token unlocks that just began. Millions of tokens are entering circulation, and this is only the beginning. Now the big question floating around the community is simple: what happens next? Will this mark a new chapter of growth and adoption, or are we bracing ourselves for a turbulent ride? Let's take a moment to understand what's actually going on. Just recently, a staggering 2.8 million Pi tokens were unlocked, and this marks the start of a major release phase. Over the coming months, we're looking at a steady stream of tokens being added to the circulating supply totals that are expected to reach into the billions. While that might sound exciting for some, for others it raises a lot of concern. What does all of this mean for the value of Pi? Could we see prices go up with greater adoption, or will the sheer amount of available tokens bring the value crashing down? To understand this better, we need to consider both the potential and the risks. The Pi network has always been centered around accessibility and community growth. Its mission from day one was to allow everyday people to participate in the crypto revolution without needing expensive hardware or technical know-how. That grassroots approach has brought in millions of users from all over the world: miners, developers, enthusiasts, and curious newcomers alike. And now, with the token unlocks beginning, this movement is entering a critical phase. With an estimated 1.5 billion tokens expected to hit the market in the next year, it's no exaggeration to say that we are witnessing one of the most pivotal moments in Pi's development. It's important to remember that not all tokens are created equal. Some are meant for rewards, others for development, and many are still locked up in the ecosystem's long-term plans. But with more tokens circulating, the pressure on the price of Pi increases unless the demand grows at the same pace, if not faster. Let's not forget that earlier this year, Pi saw a dramatic surge in price. At one point, it skyrocketed over 2,500% in a matter of days, hitting the $3 mark. That spike created a lot of excitement, but as is common in the crypto world, what goes up fast often comes down just as quickly. Pi's value later dipped by more than 80%, leaving many wondering if it was just hype or if the project has real staying power. Now that the token unlocks are here, investors and pioneers alike are watching closely. A big release like this could bring even more volatility to the market. If too many users decide to cash out quickly, the value of Pi could take another hit. But at the same time, this phase could also spark something positive. With more tokens available, there's greater potential for liquidity, more trading, and possibly more partnership with real-world businesses. It's all about how the network chooses to handle this moment. One of the most critical aspects right now is utility. The success of Pi doesn't just depend on how many tokens are out there, it hinges on what those tokens can actually do. Can they be used to buy goods and services? Can they support an ecosystem of dApps, businesses, and digital tools that give Pi real-world relevance? If the answer is yes, then these token unlocks could be a turning point that leads to a stronger and more functional network. The challenge, of course, is timing. The crypto world is fast-paced and fiercely competitive. If Pi doesn't establish meaningful use cases quickly enough, the influx of tokens might simply saturate the market, leaving too many coins chasing too little demand. That's a recipe for devaluation. But if the network keeps growing, launches strategic collaborations, and starts embedding Pi into everyday life, the increased supply might actually boost its long-term sustainability. Think about this: if more businesses start accepting Pi as a form of payment, or if the ecosystem expands into sectors like e-commerce, education, or digital services, the token could become more than just a speculative asset. It could be a functioning currency, used by real people for real things. That's where the value truly lies. Tokens with purpose tend to outlast those based only on hype. But this won't happen overnight. The team behind Pi needs to move smartly and strategically. Every token release must be paired with a new opportunity, a new app, a new partnership, or a new utility that adds value. Otherwise, the risk is clear. Tokens without function eventually lose attention, and with it, value. The months ahead will test everything Pi has built so far. Between May and July alone, over 649 million tokens are set to be unlocked. That's a massive wave of potential movement in the market. If the community doesn't hold strong or if confidence weakens, that kind of volume could send prices tumbling. But if users see real potential, if they feel that holding their tokens will pay off long-term, the network could thrive despite the flood of supply. This is where the community plays a vital role. Pi's user base is one of its greatest strengths. It's global, passionate, and engaged. If that energy is directed toward building, supporting, and promoting real use cases, the network can survive this phase and come out stronger. It's not just up to the developers anymore, it's up to all of us. At the end of the day, the Pi network is still evolving. It's not finished. It's a work in progress with huge ambitions. Whether it fulfills those ambitions depends on how well it manages this next chapter. Will it be another case of crypto hype that fades away, or will it become the people-powered currency it set out to be? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we're in for a ride. And if you're part of this community, you're not just an observer. You're a builder of what comes next. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay ahead of the curve with all things Pi Network, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big update. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the token unlocks? Are you feeling bullish or cautious? And hey, let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing how global this movement has become. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep mining. I'll see you in the next video.